Hello, this is Ian Scales from Telecom TV. I'm reporting from Mobile World Congress in Barcelona, where I'm talking to Dana Porter. Dana is VP and Head of Global Marketing for Amdocs. Dana, welcome. Everybody's talking about the connected world, and what we're seeing at the moment is all sorts of new devices and new services coming onto the market and increasing the amount of data that's flowing over the networks and so on. The question is, are service providers at risk of being marginalized by all these new services and these new brands appearing on the market?
I think service providers have unique assets, the product information, the customer information, the networks, and the trick is about finding how they can turn these assets into monetizable services. So for example, if you've got the network, how can you use that asset to turn it into a monetizable service? Can you sell a service like quality of service or bandwidth on demand? Maybe you can sell it to someone like a Paramount Pictures. So that's one thing. And another thing, I think we're going to be seeing more and more of the service providers going into new verticals like healthcare or manufacturing, and they're going to have a role to play there as well. So yes, it's changing, but new opportunities as well.
And what does that mean for the operational side?
Well, on the operational side, there's going to be a lot of changes as well. I think there's three key things you need to look at. First of all, it's the number of partners you're going to be dealing with. You're going to have a much richer set of partners. And if historically the look was, how can a partner enrich me as a service provider? Now it's actually, how can I enrich the partner's offerings as well? How can I make the whole interaction with them much simpler, much easier? So I think that's going to be one key thing. The second thing is about real time. You know, the notion of real time used to be saved for prepaid subscribers. These days we're talking about real time services also for postpaid subscribers. If you think about the healthcare example I gave you before, if you have some sort of monitoring device, you want to make sure you're tracking that in real time. And the last thing is around scalability, because I think scalability is going to be an even greater issue than it is today. Today we're worrying about billions of subscribers. We're going to be worrying about trillions of connected devices all working together. It's going to become an issue that people have to sort of think how their operational environment can actually deal with it.
So Amdocs has just announced the release of its new software, CES 8. How is that going to help service providers capitalize on the connected world?
So we're very excited about this release, CES 8. And one thing we did with this release, we tried to see how we can help service providers find new growth engines. So as I mentioned earlier, it's all about opening up and leveraging your assets. So the first thing we did is we invested in service-oriented architecture. We exposed more services, but we also acquired a company called Genetics. And what they do, they're in essence a service delivery platform that helps you expose all of those hidden telco assets in a way that other people can use them and turn them into monetizable services. Also, as people are rolling out 4G networks, etc., we created a backhaul capacity management solution that helps service provider as they plan and roll out these networks. This helps them manage this process, the planning, the rollout, and the actual monetizations of these networks. So we've prepackaged some solutions with best practices, etc. And lastly, we know many of our service providers are looking to roll out new services. So we've packaged something we called the Bss Pack. And what it is, in essence, it's a combination of our billing, customer management products, ordering, etc., and including the business processes. We've built it into one package that a service provider can take it and implement it very quickly, a couple of months, 4 or 5 months, and you can have it up and running with a very big set of functionality. Today, when you go into the store, they don't know anything about you, nothing about the history. And we did a recent survey recently that said that, 1 in 4 people who enter the store intending to buy a phone actually leave because, they couldn't figure it out. With this, the solution actually links to the customer database at the service provider. They know more about you. They know what their usage patterns are so that they can recommend better and support you if needed. The second thing is all about the smartphones. We all know smartphones adoption is increasing dramatically. A little known fact is that the support costs for smartphones are actually 4 times greater than traditional phones. So what we've done is we've included a solution within our contact center that allows the agent to see what kind of device that you have, and it allows him to support you much more effectively, and if needed, actually push a patch or a solution into your phone. So it's also improving your customer experience, but obviously also reducing the costs associated with support. I should also add we've had a personalization solution. We've acquired Changing Worlds last year, which is a personalization solution. And what it does is it makes sure that, when I log into my portal on the mobile, I actually see a different set of things than you would. This personalization reduces something that we call click distance. How many clicks does it take me to actually get to the relevant content? And we've seen some amazing results with this. We've seen double-digit ARPU growth for some of our customers. So we're actually quite excited about that as well.
So to take advantage of these opportunities, service providers really need to move out of their comfort zone, don't they? What's Amdocs doing to help them mitigate some of the risks involved in that?
The cost pressure isn't over, and we're seeing that service providers still want to save and to, we call it, run leaner. So as we designed this release, we thought, how can we actually reduce the cost pressure? So we did several things. First of all, we've adopted Linux across the portfolio. We've adopted small machine architecture, which, as you know, can help you reduce hardware costs. We've actually developed a new charging model. It's called turbocharging, and we've adapted new technologies, and combined with Linux and the small machine architecture, we can actually reduce hardware costs anywhere between 30 to 70%. So it's quite significant. Now, also, as we talked about scalability before, on the same platform, we recently did a benchmark with IBM. We ran 150 million subscribers, of which 120 million were prepaid, and we had some amazing results. We were running something like 230,000 events per second, which is quite astounding, which means that, basically our customers, the service providers, are much more ready to be real-time in an efficient way in the connected world.
Dana, thank you very much. That was very interesting. So this is Ian Scales reporting for Telecom TV from Barcelona. Goodbye.